Hi, my name is Joe Manco. I'm a filmmaker. I write, direct, edit, produce for my company based out of Arlington, Texas called Little Spark Films. Well, yeah, the awe moment that made me want to go into film was the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, watching Harrison Ford being chased by that giant boulder. And I always wanted to know how the thing got made. And when I was a kid, my granddaddy used to take me to the studios at Las Colinas, and we'd go on the tours and we'd check out, where Oliver Stone would shoot. They would give us stories about Wishbone and Barney, Star Trek: The Next Generation, Genesis with Phil Collins. And they would tell us all these stories and take us on tours out there. And I think we did the tour like 3 or 4 times, and my granddad was fed up with it because it was the same tour over and over and over again. And then eventually I went to the Academy in Las Colinas, which is now called Jack E. Singley Academy. And I was part of the first graduating class there. And that's where I took media technology and communications. And my instructors, I had instructors from Mix 1029, I had journalists from the New York Times. I had all different kinds of people coming and going telling me how to work in media technology and communications. And it was an Air Force instructor by the name of David Young who was around for the last few years. And he really helped me in the newsroom. He showed me how to use the switchboards, how to edit, how to compose a shot, the basic structure of a screenplay, all sorts of stuff. Generally my basics. And after that, I paid no mind to filmmaking ever again because I was more focused with being in a rock and roll band. And it wasn't until I met my wife that she said, it sounds like you want to make film your passion instead of music. And my wife and I, that's how we started Little Spark Films together. And we've been going since 2012, I believe, 2013. So as Little Spark Films, an independent film company, it was very difficult to find higher-end clients. We're a brand new company, we're babies essentially. And in order to work with bigger names, to understand the field and the equipment better, I had to go and day play on sets, which was general production assistant, gopher. I eventually started becoming a grip on set for various shoots. Working my way up to first assistant director. Because of freelancing and day playing on larger union sets, I've been able to eventually start working with Lloyd Kaufman, the founder of Troma Entertainment, Carrie O'Quinn, the founder of Fangoria Magazine. I was first AD for Isaiah Washington on his directorial debut, Corsicana. I worked in the art department, and I was in charge of all the Hellraiser gags on The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, and that's where I got to meet those producers who also worked for Troma. So we were doing commercials for a company called the Pyramid Gallery, and I'm a huge Hellraiser fan. I'm a big Clive Barker fan, and this guy, I saw him at Texas Frightmare Weekend, and we were making, and he had a lament configuration box like you would see in Hellraiser, and it was spinning on his table like a disco ball. And I was busy working a gig at Frightmare. We were doing interviews. I saw this disco configuration spinning on a table, and I was like a moth to the flame. So I checked it out, and I said, what is this? I want to know everything about it, and I want to be a part of it. And the curator of the gallery was excited by my enthusiasm, and we struck a deal. So he would send us music boxes, and these are beautiful music boxes where the dial in the center will spin, and they'll play lullabies. And it's all based off Hellraiser and its various mythos. So we started making commercials for this company.
There are many entrances to hell. Throughout the centuries, apostles of Leviathan devised ways to travel between our world and theirs.
And they would just send us boxes, and we'd make a new commercial, write the story, figure out the theme, and just execute a bunch of 2.5-minute commercials that way. That led us to Paul Kane. He liked not only the commercial itself, he enjoyed the title design. He immediately hit me up on Twitter and offered to send me some of his stories to check out, to read. And I was ecstatic, and I said yes immediately. And without even reading the script for The Torturer, I agreed to take it on because of the connection to Clive Barker, the connection to Hellraiser, and that eventually led us to get Paul T. Taylor, who plays Pinhead in Hellraiser Judgment, which is part 10 of the franchise. We got him to play our lead, and then I had an artist from Greece named Anthony Gladys, who was most known through my collective as working on the art of Clive Barker, or art of Hellraiser. So I had all these Hellraiser elements with Paul, Anthony, well, the two Pauls and Anthony. And that's how The Torturer came to be. And we shot it in 5 days with absolutely no money. And we shot on a red weapon with a Dragon processor. So the whole thing is in cinematic 6K resolution. The Torturer is available on Prime, Tubi, Plex, and soon on Troma Now sometime later this year. If you go to littlesparkfilms.net, you can find every streaming service that it's available on, and you can just pick whichever one works for you.